Alright, I'm in the Saramaed Hollow. Doing a little bit of progression. I want to yap about this, because I'm sure you've seen there is a rework or an update coming up to this place. There were 4 images posted showing what might be coming in the rework. I just wanted to yap about this because I am a massive fan of the deep drill already. It's just such a fun place. I don't know why. For me, it just seems like how it currently works is very good for the game, but how it's done isn't so good. I'll explain what I mean. How it works is it's essentially this. It's a dungeon, so you're by yourself or with friends if you want. You have perfect ping because it's your own server. There's no void walkers. No one can come and hunt you down. So it's the perfect place for new players or PvE builds or something. Like if you got some reason you really don't want to be doing PvP and you don't want to be getting jumped every 5 minutes, then the deep drill is just so fun, or like so much more fun than having to fight some max level void walker while you're trying to progress your PvE slot. And also, there is nowhere else in the game where you're getting this much XP for killing 5 mud skippers. The XP you get compared to what you actually do is so good. It's so good for beginners because even if you don't know what you're doing, you can probably kill mud skippers, and if you can't, then you won't be able to progress anywhere else because they're like the easiest mob ever. But the fact that you can just, if you're bad at the game, you can just keep going up and down, up and down, up and down, only fighting 5 mud skippers, and still get like a decent amount of XP for doing it. Like it's way more than doing the mud skipper event in Lower Arisia, and in that event you gotta like fight 10 mud skippers at once. You're fighting 5 mud skippers one at a time, and you're getting this much XP. It's insane for what you're actually doing, if you think about it. And the amount of items you get. The mud skipper event in Lower Arisia, you get a few silver rings. The event here, you get, or not the event, the floor here, you get 10, 20 decent starter items. So it's just so good for early game progression for both beginners and better players, which is what makes this so good, because you have that option to go up and reset the difficulty essentially. So if you're bad, you reset the difficulty every time. If you're good, you don't, and you keep getting more, which is why I am such a big fan. One of the criticisms I have though is there is only like 5 maps, and it is very repetitive. This dungeon's been open for 12 minutes. I was sitting doing nothing for 6, and I think I've been through every map at least once already. You go through a map every few minutes, if not less, and there's only 5 of them to choose from, so it's just super repetitive in that sense. The other issues I've got are just stupid things. I don't like how high you are compared to the lava. The lava's down off these cliffs. So if you do get hit down, if the monster follows you after you get hit down, you then have to try fight it in the lava where you like constantly gotta jump or you'll burn to death. It's so annoying. As well as that, if you got obvious, sometimes the monsters walk into the lava because you aggroed them too early. And the mud skippers, not mud skippers, whatever these guys are called, the carbuncles, they, for some reason, on this map, if one spawns here, it spawns in the lava. There's loads of issues with the current maps. I think that is the main issue, is the maps. It looks like from the sneak peeks, we're actually going to be fighting at lava height now, which looks so much better. There's one of them on these stepstones with the lava less than like half their body height below them, which looks so much better than the current thing we've got to go through. And then there's that rock serpent, which looks cool. But I've got my own issues with the rock serpent, because right now, the deep drill isn't made for endgame content, and I hope they keep it that way because it is such a good way to progress. Because currently, if they were to add a boss at the bottom of the current state of the drill, it takes way too long to get to the bottom floor. Super annoying for people trying to fight the boss. But if they were to then remove the other floors and just add a boss floor and like maybe like 2 other floors, or to just make it like a linear dungeon like layer 2, if they were to do that, then it would just ruin the whole progression side of the deep drill. Unless they do something else, unless they just make it easier to go between floors, I don't see how the current state they could just add a boss to the deep drill without having to remove one of the key elements of the deep drill. In the sneak peek it looks massive, but he could just be next to some like tiny rocks, but I highly doubt it. He definitely looks like a boss. I don't see what else it could possibly be other than a new boss monster, because it looks bigger than a King Thresher. Unless there's like smaller versions coming in, maybe it's just like a King Thresher version of a smaller one. They'll have like Rock Thresher. Also, let me train some intelligence, because I'm gonna take like 10 years to power up if I don't. Quick maths textbook saying I actually suck. What am I doing? Plus, minus 5? Yeah. Oh my god, I'm actually having a brain fog. Quick maths book break. I gotta log in now, because otherwise it's just embarrassing. Anyway, quick maths book tangent. Back to the main topic, the Saramaed Hollow. Another thing I've not seen anyone really talking about, because everyone wants the layer 3 update. And everyone's like, I've seen people say, guys, no one wants this update, just give us layer 3, give us layer 3. There's gotta be a reason they're putting this in first. Layer 3, with the lore we've got, no one's ever gotten to layer 3 other than Pleatsky, I think. Unless someone else did that I don't know of. But, essentially, they can't just make layer 3, oh, you jump in the void in layer 2 and you make it to layer 3, because that wouldn't make sense with the lore, because people have fallen in the void in layer 2. They have to add something, like some big event that's gonna suddenly make layer 3 accessible. In my eyes, the Cerade Hollow is gonna be that. I can't see a way that it's not the gateway to layer 3. And I get it's not, I'm not just saying this because like, oh, it's fire, like, have you seen the sneak peeks? There's literally two of the pictures. One of them is just of the depths, like, it is this new depths location in the Saramaed Hollow sneak peek, and then the other one is like the hollow transitioning into a depths biome. You can't tell me that this thing doesn't now have some link to the depths, especially considering when you go straight down in the universe of Yapwoken, you go into the depths, like with the whirlpools. It's part of lore. Going straight down takes you to the depths, and what are we doing? We're going straight down. As well as that, layer 3 is confirmed to be home to the drowned god of or drowned god of fire. So layer 3 is gonna be some volcanic area. At least that's what I'm assuming. Like how layer 2 is just this windy mess. Layer 3 is gonna be full of fire. The Saramaed Hollow itself could be one of the vents of layer 3, and that's like how it links. Because another thing in the lore is the Crimson Megalodons are actually a byproduct of layer 3. In the lore, they're like exposed to the vents, and it makes them inherit Flame Charm because like how strong the presence of layer 3 is. And where would you find Crimson Megalodons? That's right, in the Saramaed Hollow. Like the only place you can find it is the Saramaed Hollow and the islands surrounding the Saramaed Hollow. They only spawn in the Eastern Luminant. Where the Saramaed Summon is, other than Diluvian Mechanism, but that doesn't really count, because Diluvian Mechanism is just a mess of mobs fighting you. So as well as that, the insanity you gain is so crazy. Like you can't regenerate sanity whilst down here, which Yunshu reference. I don't know. I'm throwing absolutely anything out right now. I just feel like this is got to be. Oh my god! I actually got intelligence points. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying. I just I feel like this has got to be linked to layer 3 in some way. I don't see why else they would have done this update before layer 3, because I don't see like there's nowhere near as much hype for this as there is for layer 3. So it makes so much more sense to just work on layer 3 first. Unless for some reason they have to work on this first, because they have to make a way for you to get to layer 3, and that might just so happen to be this. You know? There's gotta be some big lore event letting us suddenly be able to traverse there, otherwise all the lore built up around layer 3 is just incorrect. And I'm a big fan of the Yapwoken lore, so I really hope I'm right, because if they just make it, oh, you can jump through layer 2 void and suddenly, for no reason, you can go to layer 3, that would be so boring, because they'd essentially just unwrite all the lore they've written around layer 3. Like, currently what it looks like is Pleatsky is going to be the Prometheus of layer 3, because, like, he gifted Flame Charm to the humans, and he's immortal, and all the Greek mythology is just going to come together. That's what it looks like, at least, and that's not even like an original idea. That's just pretty much from what they set up. That's gotta be confirmed at this point, because Pleatsky, the immortal guy who gifted flames to the humans, like, he's literally just Prometheus. Like, it's 1 for 1. He is Prometheus, and I can't see Prometheus. Not Prometheus. I can't see Pleatsky being an enemy unless he's like a servant of the drowned god, because he seems to have been pretty chill. I mean, he created Flame Charm and taught it to the rest of the world. He seems like a nice guy from what I've seen. Like, unlike Chaser, who's just evil. Anyway, wanted to yap about the Hollow and what's coming, and what I hope's coming. If you're wondering what the hell build I'm making, it's for a different video that will maybe be out at some point. But yo, if anyone manages to guess what the hell I'm making, I'll give you like 2,000 Robux. There's no way anyone like figures out what the hell I'm actually doing right now. I mean, I've got Adrenaline Surge and Flame Grab. It is like a, I guess cosplay is not really the right word, but it is another. It's not an actual build. It's based off something, if that makes sense. But yeah, good luck trying to figure out what the hell this is. Yeah, I'll give a little hint, I guess. I'll rename Flame Grab to what it's gonna be. If that, there's no way. I highly doubt anyone guesses what I'm making. But if you do, well done. Anyway, that is the yapping over. You can go back to your day now.